Okay, so AI is everywhere, right? It's changing, well, everything. And this whole revolution, it runs on one critical fuel: high-quality data. But here's the kicker. What happens when our massive demand for that fuel starts to outrun the supply?
And that's the question, the one the entire tech industry is trying to figure out right now. We're building these incredible, more powerful models every single day, and each new one is just hungrier than the last. So where on earth is all this data going to come from? Here's the fundamental problem. On one side, you've got this bottomless pit of data hunger from AI systems. It's basically infinite. But on the other, you have a very, very finite supply of the good stuff, the expert-verified, high-quality data that actually makes these models smart. And that system, it's really starting to crack under the pressure.
And that brings us right to the heart of it all, an AI data crisis. Look, the old way of doing things, just buying and selling data sets as a one-and-done deal, it is completely unsustainable for this new age of AI. It's just too slow, way too expensive, and it simply doesn't scale.
So, what's the alternative? Well, it's not a small tweak. It requires a fundamental shift in how we think about this stuff. We have to move away from treating data like a static thing you just buy off a shelf and start seeing it for what it is: a living, breathing asset that actually grows in value over time.
Think about it this way. The old model, data was just a line item, a cost center on a spreadsheet. But the Codatta data model, it flips that completely on its head, turning data into a compounding asset, something that generates value long after it's been created.
Okay, that sounds great, right? But how do we actually build this new economy? Well, the vision rests on 5 core pillars. So let's break them down, one by one.
All right, pillar number 1. This one gets right to the money. It's all about completely rethinking how data creators and experts get compensated for their work.
So here's the game changer. Instead of getting a one-time paycheck for your data, it becomes a shared asset. It's kind of like being a musician. You don't just get paid once for recording a song, right? You get royalties every time it's played. It's the same idea here. Data experts earn royalties every single time their verified data is used to train a model. That way their effort is aligned with the long-term value it helps create.
Okay, on to pillar number 2. This one tackles the biggest roadblock for innovation: the friction of just getting access to high-quality data in the first place.
This is the train now, pay later model. And this is huge because it dramatically lowers the barrier to entry for AI developers. They can access the data they need to build without a massive upfront cost. And for the data experts, well, they get a stake in the success of the models they help create, sharing in the revenue that comes later. It's a win-win.
Pillar number 3. Now, this one is so important because it focuses on the most valuable component in this whole ecosystem: the people. It's about recognizing and rewarding real human expertise. This system is designed from the ground up to be human-centric. The goal is to find, attract, and actually keep genuine experts by recognizing their credentials, verifying their track records, and giving them workflows that actually respect their time and expertise. It's all about valuing human intelligence.
All right, pillar number 4. And this one is absolutely crucial for building trust in the whole system because without it, nothing else works. It's all about quality control.
The idea here is simple. Verification is the gate. Quality is completely non-negotiable. In this model, things like reputation systems don't replace quality assurance. No way. They're the tools used to finance and enforce it.
And this isn't just a quick check. We're talking about a rigorous, multi-stage process. It starts with evidence-based submissions, then moves to peer review, then a higher-level expert audit. And this part is key. It doesn't even stop there. The data is re-verified even after the AI model is deployed to make sure its integrity holds up over time.
And that brings us to our 5th and final pillar. And you could think of this one as the engine that powers this entire new economy. It's the built-in economics of the system.
Yeah, the economics aren't an afterthought. They are baked right into the system's design. The whole model is engineered to be sustainable and fair. It makes sure ownership is priced correctly, that revenue gets to the people who actually did the work, and that it rewards the crucial, ongoing tasks of curation and maintenance. So when you combine all 5 of these pillars, the shared royalties, the easier access, the human-centric design, that rigorous verification, and the built-in economics, you get more than just a new process. You get the blueprint for a fundamentally new data economy.
Just look at the difference. We move from one-time payments to ongoing royalties, from paying a ton of money up front to a train now, pay later model. We go from seeing data as just a cost to seeing it as a compounding asset. And maybe most importantly, We shift the focus from just raw data to verified human expertise.
And if you take away just one thing, let it be this. The crucial point is turning data from a cost center into a compounding asset. That single shift changes everything about how we build, how we value, and how we sustain the future of artificial intelligence.
And this leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. In a world where AI is becoming part of everything, what happens when we can finally, truly, and fairly value human expertise itself and turn it into its own asset class? The implications of that are just massive.